How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We are back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we have the EZA for the Fizz God Goku live here. So we got him max links, we got him rainbow status, we got a couple decent God equips on him. Not all God equips, but some good ones. So we're going to showcase this guy here in this video. So let's take a look here. So as you guys remember, he does have that entrance animation. You can hear it playing in the background there. It now causes him to randomly change key spheres of a certain type to Fizz key spheres and increases his chance of evading enemies' attack by 10%, as well as giving him an additional super attack for 6 turns. And again, this can be done as long as you have 6 or more super class allies on the team. So essentially 6, a full super class team. He also has an additional 50% damage reduction for his initial turn. Basic effects include Key 2, attack defense 200%, medium chance of evading enemy's attack, and attack defense 100%, as well as attack 100% when attacking with 12 or more key. With 3 or more key spheres obtained, he gets, or 2 or more key spheres obtained in the 3rd slot, he gets an additional 100% attack defense, as well as a chance of evading enemy's attack 30%. With 6 or more key spheres obtained, or 4 or more key spheres obtained as the 3rd attacker in a turn, he launches an additional super attack that guards all attacks. Superclass allies also gain attack defense 30%, as well as an additional key 1 and attack defense 20%, and effective against all types for Realm of Gods characters. After performing 4 or more attacks in battle, he has attack 100% and chance of evading enemies' attack 10%. So I went with a more offensive build for him, i.e. I gave mine crit because he doesn't have crit in his base form. And you're going to think, well, he's a stacker, he doesn't need it. Well, he's got plenty of additional attacks and he doesn't really have much ability to crit until you transform him. And that active skill turn you're only using for 1 or 2 turns. So the majority of the time you're using this character, and even then, his active skill isn't that crazy, you're probably going to be in his god form. So that's why I give him crit, because as we've learned, effective against all types just isn't enough anymore to get past some of these bosses. So maybe I might switch to a more attack equip build rather than the defense equips, but that's really going to be dependent on what key spheres I can get. So got a little bit of a trick here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep Fizz Vegito here, and I'll float him, or actually, no, we'll float him. Oh no, yeah. Okay, so we'll do this. So we'll keep Fizz Vegito here. We're gonna focus on the UI Goku. We are in the tournament of power fight here. We're gonna focus on the UI Goku, and then we're gonna send off the Vegeta. And it's only because I know that Vegeta can tank the super from the Vegeta in the 3rd slot. So here we go. We do. Did we seriously just fail an 80% dodge? We really failed an 80% dodge frame 1. All right, so we went ahead and reloaded that up. That was just, so it's 70%, not 80%. 70% this turn. It'll be 80%. It would have been 80% if we had UI Goku on rotation with us, giving us that extra dodge. But wow, like what? I have some of the worst dodge luck imaginable. Did we fail it? We failed it again, didn't we? We failed it again. We failed it again. All right, so we went ahead and we reloaded this time. So now we actually have Fizz UI on with us. So we're gonna play this out here. Yeah, you know what? Well, since the focus is on God Goku here, we'll just go ahead and do this. Get that build up. So we'll get the 8 key spheres here. We're getting support from UI. We're getting support from God Goku. So, I mean, 500k start a turn defense with 50% damage reduction. I mean, obviously it's not the craziest, but with that dodge, you'd think we'd be okay. But no, man, we have some of the worst dodge luck you could imagine. Kind of feel like I should have brought AGL God Goku just to stall a turn and push us to turn 6, because I see we have Tech UI on the 2nd appearance there, but I think we can hit turn 6. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. But yeah, so you can see turn 1, little bit tricky with this unit. We are running him on a full Realm of Gods setup here against the tournament of power fight. Figured this would be a nice one. And initially I was going to bring Beerus here for his active skill, but I decided Tech UI's domain would probably be a little bit better for this setup. We probably should have just went to Daima Vegeta here, but regardless, I mean, I guess it's good to see what happens to him if you're like me and you have, you know, just piss poor dodge luck. You know, this is what you're going to deal with. But I mean, the nice thing is he builds up quick, he builds up fast, and he builds up crazy. So hopefully, right, we get our supers here. There we go. We get another one. There we go. So we got 3 super attacks, 1 more, and we get that extra 100% attack. So that'll be good. There we go. No, we don't get 1 more. So we won't get the extra 100% attack until next turn, which, I mean, it's not the worst idea. So that's okay. Again, we're going to really try to push that domain if we can for turn 6. So I'm trying to think if floating, or turn 7 rather, right? We need to get it turn 7 because he's on, right? But that would essentially be our final turn, though, you know. So we'll see how this plays out. Oh, but that's the tough thing. Okay, it's really gonna depend on. Okay, let's do this. Oh no, with Tech UI, I don't want to do that. Okay. He's gonna show up turn 5. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's just continue. We'll keep him on. I think it'll probably be best just to keep him on here. But Tech UI just to key. We'll keep the. We'll use Phys UI to give that extra dodge here. Normally, right? If you're playing for realsies, you would probably switch into Vegeta now. But I want to get UI built up, and of course, since we do have Tech UI on the team, I do want to give him that extra dodge support here for at least 1 turn, right? The more turns we can protect ourselves, the better. Although I guess this turn where it's only 1 attack, it's probably worth the risk. I don't know. It's going to depend on what that what that attack is, right? If that attack is the super, which I don't think it is, because it looks like Vegeta's attacking in the final slot there, so that's probably where the super is. And I do know Int Vegeta can tank it, at least within the first phases here, so we shan't have to worry there too much. But I think where the real trick is going to come in is... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I feel like instead of the STR Blues, maybe I should brought AGL God Goku. That might have been the better play. There we go. Yeah, AGL God Goku might have been the better play there. Because he could have... Again, just kind of stalling for that turn, that revive turn, right? To help get us to a point, especially, right, if we're on a rotation where we're unsure if Tech UI can live. Is what it is. I gotta figure out how to play this next turn, though. That's gonna be the real trick, because since Vegeta's going on to that turn, he's not gonna be on the big turn. That, yeah, see, told you it was gonna show up there. Okay. Oh, there are a lot of attacks there. Should we send UI? Yeah, let's just send him off. I think the play here is to just continue this setup. So we have just under 1 million defense. I mean, either way, they have the same amount of dodge, right? Looking at the dodge on God Goku, he's got, right? We've got that extra 10% for 6 turns. We've got the 30% with if we get our 3 or more, and then we've got, so that's 40 right there. And then where is it? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, and then with the 6 or more key spheres, we get as well. Okay, chance of evading enemies attack. All right, excellent. So let's go ahead and okay. Let's put them here. Since we don't have to worry about Phys UI, we can save we can actually save UI's stuff here, but let's see how we do. Okay, there we go. We actually getting some dodges in there. There we go. Okay, this is much better. Yeah. So yeah, if you're watching this, you've seen that we already kind of, there we go. So building up some good defense. And so after this attack, we should see a jump in his attack because this is the 4th attack. So we should see a jump in his offense here. There we go. Yeah, so there's that jump there. So we should see a pretty significant jump in his offense moving forward. Well. And yeah, so again, now the trick is to make it through one more round. It's really going to depend on how quickly we finish off the Goku. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so yeah, we have our permanent 100% attack boost. So now we just have to stall until we can get that domain up. There we go. There we go. Look at that. So I think it's really just going to come down to... there we go. Yeah, it's just going to come down to how this next turn plays out, I get with our damage on Goku. There we go. Okay, yeah, we might not be able to get to that domain turn for God Goku here, but I mean, still pretty impressive. So, I mean, if you're watching this, like I was trying to say a minute ago, yeah, I left in those beginning portions because I just want people to understand that, you know, no unit is perfect, and I have terrible dodge luck. There we go. Okay, so if we don't kill God Goku on the next turn, then I think we're solid. Because then we can set up a domain turn for... There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. All right, so... Okay, we get the transformation into him. Okay, and I think... Yeah, let's do this number. Switch into Vegeta. Okay, since we have guaranteed dodge here. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so we actually... actually, yeah, let's just save Vegeta's damage reduction. Okay, and also we'll do less damage too, so... There we go, perfect. So all we need Tech UI to do is dodge that singular attack, and we're fine. Oh, actually, it's 2 attacks. 1 from Vegeta, 1 from Goku. Okay. We can do this, right? We can do this. I know we can. I believe in us. I believe. Okay, now we really have to see how the attacks are played out on the next turn, because depending on where those supers are, or where the attack... Okay, yeah, Goku's dead. We're not going to get the turn we want. That's a shame. Yeah, it's pretty much like in these fights. If you don't get Tech UI rather on turn 1, you're not using that domain. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so well, I mean, the good news is we only have to dodge 1 attack now. We can do that, right? We can dodge a single attack, can't we? Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to. Actually, there's no choice here. We're gonna have to. Because if we don't, we die. So, yeah. I believe, yes. Okay, but looking at, knowing the fact that, yeah, and so what is this? This will be turn 5, and it's from his appearance, right? So the earliest we could get it is turn 6. For UI, I'm pretty sure. Is it from turn 5 from the start of battle? I think it's been a while since we've actually really focused on his domain. I'll pull it up in a sec. But well, I mean, looking at the damage we did to Vegeta though, with just that, there we go. Get that auto dodge because we got that EX super. Okay, so hang on, let me pull up Tech UI's domain here because I'm fairly certain here that it's from his appearance. Yeah, from his entry turn, yeah. So the earliest we can get it is 6. And looking at how much damage we're going to do, even if we did manage to stall to the next turn, we're going to kill him within that turn anyways. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So let's pop the Vegeta active here. Oh, yeah, look at, yeah, okay, yeah. So, yeah, we definitely weren't doing this. And then we'll switch back into UI Goku. And the reason we're switching back into UI Goku is because he is a Goku. Now, we're going to lose the Godly Power links here in a second, the Realm of Gods links, because we're going to use God Goku's active here. But 2 million defense, not bad for a dodge unit. So, actually, you know what? I want to turn on this right here. Okay, and we'll pop him in the middle, and let's do that active skill. Oh man, I missed that. I will not let you destroy my world. Beautiful. Oh man, I missed that. Oh, so good. Okay. All right, now we're gonna pop him in front here. So real quick, taking a look at Super Saiyan Goku. Now that we are Super Saiyan, we get Key 3, 259% attack and defense, evading enemies attack 90% before attacking. For 3 turns, we have 359% attack, 259% defense, performing a critical hit, launches an additional super attack, guards all attacks, starting from the 4th turn from his entry turn, effective against all types, launches an additional attack, and great chance of guarding all attacks, as well as 259% when attacking and 159% defense. When there's another Realm of Gods ally attacking in the same turn, or a Realm of Gods enemy, we can recover 59% HP and damage reduction rate 30% within the turn when HP 50% less. So obviously we don't have that active because we're not below that percentage, so we don't have the extra damage reduction, but we're also not stacking anymore, right? But you can see here we bumped up to 3.8 million defense, so that's actually kind of insane. And we know we are no longer restricted by our key spheres either, so we can just grab whatever here and blast him. And we have a 90% chance to evade here, by the way. So let's grab that. All right, and so while I would have loved to see with the domain support up, I mean, this is still a pretty juiced up turn because we have both UI support, and look at that, we are dodging anyways. We missed a 90%, we just missed a 90% chance to dodge, mind you. There we go, 70 million. That's not too bad considering what, 2 turns of stacking? That's honestly not that bad. There we go. All right, we got a couple more attacks coming in. I do love the jump and attack though. All right, that's nice. There we go, one more. 90 million. So you know what? Active skill turn, you know, for 2 turns of stacking, that's not terrible damage. And again, had we been able to pop that domain, this would have been at least 100 mil. So honestly, not terrible. You know, he's going to be much better in longer fights, obviously, but for what it was, not bad at all. You know, this is definitely on par with the EZAs we've been getting this year, and I do think they handled him quite well. So there you have it, folks. There is the Fizz God Goku's long-awaited EZA. This is probably one of the most anticipated EZAs next to Int Maj and Vegeta's, I think, in terms of TURs. Funny enough, both are Saiyan Day TURs, and they were both handled quite well. God Goku's definitely up there. I do think, in terms of Saiyan Day TURs, Maj and Vegeta might be, I don't want to say better, but his team needs him more than Realm of Gods needs Fizz UI Goku. We'll say that. That said, both are incredible. UI God Goku here. The dodge is good, but as you can see, it can be a little tricky early on before he builds up his defense. So you definitely want a safe slot 1 partner for him. The blues or UI work very well to allow him to get that build up. And again, the longer the fight drags on, the better he's going to be defensively. So, you know, there's always that. So, guys, that's it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, what do you think of Fizz God Goku's EZA? I think they knocked it out of the park. I think it's incredible, but I would love to hear your thoughts on this EZA. Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.